Hello cross stitch friends. I'm just quickly doing this upload because I've done a poll on my two groups. There's All Things Cross Stitch Royal Stitcher and there's the Royal Rose group. And basically I've done a poll for what I'm going to be doing next, whether it be a live, just a stitch with me upload, which piece, tutorials, etc. But anyway, Anna Van Stratton, I hope I've pronounced that right. She commented on the post on All Things Cross Stitch saying, I would really like to see a tutorial on how you end floss. Mine are awful. Well, Anna, I thought I will quickly do that for you now because it shouldn't take too long. And I'd just like to say, I doubt yours are awful, bless you. However, I will do as you have asked. I like to try and keep my followers happy. So basically how I finish, now you've worded it floss, I might end up calling it thread, still the same thing. So how I finish my thread is I finish to the right. Now this isn't, there's no you have to do this, there's no gun being pointed at your head. For those that are watching this and thinking, oh well, no, I don't really want to finish there, I'm just showing you how I do it. You can do it any way you like. You can do it with pin stitch, you can finish down here, you know, I'm just showing you the way I do it. Right, so that's out of the way. So I stitch away in my tower, and then whether it be I've finished the last symbol within that tower and there's nothing down here and there's nothing down here to park in, I will finish that thread. You don't have to, you can park all the way over here or all the way over here, but for the Royal Rose method and how I do it, I will finish the thread if I can't park it here or here. So depending on where my last stitch is with that thread, so for example, if I was finishing here, say this is my last stitch, I don't need the colour anymore, it's not parked, I can't park it anywhere, so I'll finish it. And because this is my last stitch at the edge of the tower, I will finish over here. So I'll pull it up like that, and then I'll just snip it, not any particular length, I'll just snip it and then start my next colour. I'm going to bring this through because I am still stitching with this one. So yeah, so that's if that's where the last stitch is. Now let me quickly stitch this little line here, because if my last stitch is further over in the tower, so that's this stitch, I'm rushing this and it's, oh no, it's okay. So yeah, so say this one's the last stitch of this thread and there's nowhere to park it down here, there's nowhere to park it here, I'll finish obviously, but because it's over this far end, I might finish down here a little because it'll get anchored at the back by the rest of whatever I'm stitching here. I hope that makes sense, because like I say, as I pull that, so there's a line and this line comes across here, so basically there'll be a stitch here that'll cover it, a stitch here that'll anchor it down, maybe even here, here, it will definitely get anchored down. So then when I finish that tower, and then I'll even show you this while I'm here. So yeah, that's what I'll do. If I'm over here, I will gauge if it will get anchored. If it won't get anchored, then I'll still come over here and I'll pull it through. So you just gauge it on your own stitching and what's going on, how many stitches you've got left in the tower, etc. So then after that, I don't necessarily cut them to a specific length, the finishes. I find if you So for example, if I was to get the scissors now and just chop these extremely close to my fabric, I feel that's what causes the ridge. And I don't, you know, like when you feel it, you can feel where your finishes are. I personally don't cut right down. So obviously this one's quite long, this one's a little bit shorter, this one's a little bit shorter. You know, I let it scatter a little, and then I've got my snag nabbit and I just pull the ends to the back once they are absolutely definitely anchored down. So obviously this little bit here is all stitched, so I can confidently pull all of those finishes to the back because the stitches will not come loose because they're all anchored with the rest of the stitches. And then with my hand, whichever hand, at the back, I'll smooth it over. I'll kind of go like that at the back, just so that it's not coming back on itself and things. I'll just smooth it over, and that's how I do my finishing. Yeah, so I hope that helped you. Like I say, I'm pretty sure your ends are not terrible. But yeah, I hope that made sense for you. As I said, I don't get the ridge because I don't snip it. I find you get the ridge if you have all those finishes the exact same length. So yeah, anyway, thank you for joining me. Thank you for the question. Anybody else with questions, head on over to Royal Rose group on Facebook, or All Things Cross Stitch Royal Stitcher on the Facebook group, or drop a comment down on this video here, and I will try my hardest to get a video done for you and uploaded answering the question. So yeah, super. Thank you ever so much for joining me. Happy stitching. Love you all, but not as much as cross stitch.